Good evening. Welcome to 954 Miles of Conversation podcast. I'm your host, William T. Vaughn. My co host, Christy McDonald, is not with us tonight. She's actually in Kansas City on a church retreat, which is a good thing. Everybody needs some Jesus in them. So I'm glad she's on that retreat, and so she can bring some back to me and pass it on down. Okay. Uh, this is our 18th episode, and tonight's show is navigating dual citizen sisterhood, embracing diversity while upholding sharing values. Um, and as on 954 Miles of Conversation, we explore boundless conversation 1 mile at a time. Um, my guests are from Little Rock. For those who do not aware of them, but I'm gonna let them introduce themselves before I get into my questions with them, and I'm gonna start from my middle and work my way to the right. So in the middle, would you introduce yourself and tell the two sororities that you're involved in?
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Iris Golden-Griffith. I am a proud member of two organizations. The first one is Chi Eta Phi Sorority Incorporated, and then the second one is Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated.
Okay. And so, how long have you been a member of Ada Chi?
I joined Chi Eta Phi and the Little Rock chapter Sigma Chi Chi in 2016.
Okay, so you've
So
been
I
there for a while. Okay.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
for a while. We were charter members, and
Okay.
so we joined Pine Bluff, had the first chapter in Arkansas, and then Little Rock and Bryant soon followed.
Okay. And Delta Sigma Theta, how long has you been there?
I am a Neo. We are Neos. Um, you know what? God will give you what you need when He thinks you need it,
Okay.
not when you want it, but when He thinks you need it.
Okay.
And so I've been blessed to be a member of Delta Sigma Theta a little bit later in life, but that
Okay.
works out for that balance because my kids are grown and I can commit to both organizations.
Okay. 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 All right. My second guest, can you introduce yourself and tell us what the sorority?
Yes. So my name is Betty Baxter, and I am also a member of Chi Eta Phi Sorority Incorporated, and that is a national nursing sorority. And then I'm also a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Okay. And how long you member for Ada? How long?
I was a charter member of the Sigma Chi Chi chapter
Okay.
of Chi Eta Phi Sorority Incorporated, and I've been a member since 2016.
Okay.
And I fully agree with Iris in that sometimes you get things when you want them in life, and when you want. Sometimes you get things when you want them, and then sometimes you get them when you need them.
Okay.
And I wanted to pledge Delta Sigma Theta in undergrad. However, I was initiated into the Little Rock Alumni chapter in April of 2024.
Oh, okay. So y'all knew. So y'all just hit the ground running. But let me tell my viewers and listeners. Because I want to make this funny. Uh, I have been knowing these two for quite some years now. I'm a member of Pi Omicron chapter of Omega Psi Phi in Little Rock. So I'm over Achievement Week. I'm Achievement Week chairperson. So we actually work together for that achievement week. We do our health initiative together. So we have been having a partnership for quite some time, y'all.
Yes, we
I've
have.
been, at least I know about 7 years for me, just in a member of Pi Omicron. But before then, I'm going to take y'all back a little bit. When y'all was the Black Nurses Association. Do y'all
I was
remember
in
that?
I was in
That
the
was
Black
Betty.
Nurses. I was in the Black
Hmm.
Nurses Association.
Okay. In the Black Nurses Association, I used to deal with y'all back then as the National Black Police Officers Association. So
Oh,
Absolutely.
that's how long we have been really working together for
Yeah.
many years. Because I retired at almost 34 years with the Little Rock Police Department. So in my early stages of the Little Rock Black Police Officers Association, we always used to have Christmas. We used to work with you all
Hmm.
in events and everything. So it's not, you all are not new to me, but it's good to say that those relationships do pass on and continue to carry on as you continue to grow in life. And I never thought that even when y'all have this banquet every year with the nurses sorority with
Mm-hmm.
that y'all raise fundraisers and all,
Mhm.
which I started donating to that.
Yeah.
That's a part of my thing that I started donating because the first time I went to it, I was impressed with it. So I just started donating to it personally. So I give a donation to it personally. So it's about giving back and helping one another. So I love that aspects of y'all. But
Yeah.
I want to bring something to our viewers and listeners' attention because during the time that you all was pledging, I commend you all for doing this because it was a very serious commitment for you all to pledge, and I'm glad to see that you all were able to achieve your goals and as a Delta and achieve that particular thing. But you all was working on something in the city that a lot of people don't even know about. Are
Yeah.
you aware of that?
What were you
Uh,
working on, Betty?
what were you working on, Iris?
y'all was
Well,
y'all
we're,
y'all was entertaining guests that was coming in.
we
Yeah.
our region, our regional
Conference.
organization, which is the Middle South region of Chi Eta Phi Sorority Incorporated. Little Rock was hosting our regional meeting about the same time. It just kind of landed about the same time. So when you think about logistically, we had really been working on it over, would you say, a year or almost 2 years, Iris?
Almost three.
And but it just came to fruition around the same time. So it was so I'm a firm believer when you get planning done sooner,
Yeah.
Hmm.
you can execute flawlessly. And so that's kind of a little bit of way that happened. Now, not saying it wasn't hard, but it did happen,
Well, that's good.
that
That's
way.
good though.
Yeah.
That's good. A lot of people don't realize that you just couldn't start working on a conference right then and then turn around and do this at the same
Yeah.
time. And
Right.
because no, you couldn't do that way. You have to start in the earlier stages and work your way to that
Mhm.
point. But I commend you all because you did a great job on it. So you
Well,
really
thank
truly
you.
did. You did. I was actually in the city when you all crossed, so I actually had some gifts for you all. So I had
Uh,
to get it.
yeah. And I absolutely love them. I'm just gonna say that I love them.
I think I would say that having your support and seeing you lead in the community with the Omegas has truly been amazing. You guys, when we first chartered and we were new to the scene, you didn't hesitate to collaborate with us and roll that health initiative right on in
Yeah,
with whatever you were doing in the community, and that was awesome.
yeah.
But now we watched you guys, and we knew that you were about the business of the community and giving back. So that was amazing. And Betty and I chartered together, and we are both I would say structured leaders. We're both structured. We're about the business. And without her, I know I couldn't have done it. That's first off. And
Yeah,
then second off, we have two other chapters in Arkansas.
yeah.
And together, you are much stronger. And so, as a community, as a nation, as a people, that's what we need is to come together, work together. And that's how we were able to execute it. Two strong people glued together with the determination to make our region and our organization proud, we were able to execute on behalf of all of the members in the state of Arkansas.
Well, good. You're correct. I don't think I can say it better than that. But I commend you all for the work that you all do for as the nurses. But for as Delta Sigma Theta, they got one of the two of the best right now as members. I can tell you that.
Aw.
I can tell you that right now. They got some
I'll,
workers.
I'll
They
pay
got
you
some
later.
workers. They
I'll
got some
pay you
workers
later.
when it comes to y'all. I already know that. They got some workers. They ain't got no shirt totals. They got some workers when it comes down to
No,
y'all.
no, we've ready and willing,
Yeah.
and we know how to roll up our sleeves, as they say.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna I'm gonna start this thing off with one question because You all in two organizations,
Mhm.
and you believe in both of them. How do you how and either one of you can take this question on first. How do you manage both of them? How do you manage it? How do you manage it?
Well,
I'm gonna
for
let
me,
I'm gonna let
go.
Iris go
You gonna
Okay.
let
first.
Iris go back?
For me, the way that I'm able to manage them both is I'm truly a person of my word. And so what that means is if I commit to something, then I'm committed to that. I choose my committees carefully. And so we have a schedule in each organization. We know when the events are, and then we can commit to something and do it. It seems challenging, but the reward is even greater. You know, you're giving back to the community with healthcare initiatives, and then over in Delta Sigma Theta, social action is taking off. You
Yeah,
know, education, we're behind and below the benchmark in mathematics and literacy.
yeah,
So we get to work on things like that over in Delta Sigma Theta. Bettye is still on VIPS. We've been out in the school reading to the children. So it probably goes a little bit beyond that, but it's
yeah.
pretty easy to balance because I live by my calendar.
Okay.
And so just I'm just that type of a structured person, and I love being able to do both.
So
Yeah.
you got to have some serious structure.
Yes, yes.
You got to have some
Even my
serious.
Yeah.
even my babies that are grown, we pencil each other in. They both have calendars, and so for lunch and dinner and activities, we schedule with each other because we are respective of each other's time, and then that time is dedicated to my family. So we embrace a schedule.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Good strategy. Better and you, how you do it?
Well, I definitely would have to piggyback. Time management is really the key to it all. And like Iris said, I live by my calendar. I literally live by my calendar. But it's what you commit yourself to. And I I rarely commit myself to something that I can't follow through on. I'll give you a prime example, and but I'll say this: you have to be able to step back and say no. I had to
Oh,
learn the art of no,
oh,
Hmm.
because I oftentimes, because I knew that that an organization would depend on me to do it,
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
they would ask me to do it.
Mm.
And so I had to learn how to say no. I had two people call me today and ask me to do something on Saturday.
Wow.
So you already
Mm.
know my schedule is already built, right?
Right,
And
right.
I have a massage built into my calendar for Saturday. And if you think I'm gonna give up that massage to go and do anything, it's out of the question. So I think it just comes with when you start talking about balancing, um,
Mhm.
the sororities and balancing commitments and things like that. You have to learn how to say no to something so
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
that you can kind of fill your cup back up.
Right.
Oh,
And then you're able to do, I think you can do more with the full cup, of course,
okay.
Mhm.
than when you've depleted yourself completely, and then you can't do anything for anyone, and then that's when, as nurses, we know when we
Mm-mm.
stress ourselves out and thin ourselves out, that's
Yeah.
when our immune systems get low, and that's when we get sick.
Mhm.
Now,
Wow.
who gonna come take care of us?
You got a point.
Yeah.
You got a
Mhm.
point. You
Yeah.
definitely have a point in that.
William, we went out to dinner, and dinner turned into us uh pushing our calendars on out for 2 more months with each other. So
Really?
that's how
2 months.
commit we were at dinner. We went to dinner. Bettye, you got your calendar? She run to the car, she get her calendar. Okay. You know, we're our way out to January with things that, like she said, once we commit to it and put it on there, then there you have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, and I mean that's great strategies. The great strategies. I've always me I live by the phone and live by the calendar. I live by juggling. So I'm actually juggling some things right now as we speak. I'm juggling. I'm juggling. I've been juggling all day long. And
Yeah.
so And so I had to get a reminder from one of my frat brothers about, hey man, you got something to do at 7 o'clock. I said, I got two things to do at 7 o'clock.
Oh
So
my God.
I said, so let me juggle this and get this done. So I understand that. But you all are new in Delta Sigma Theta.
Mm-hmm.
The values of Delta Sigma Theta, I don't know what the core values are. I'm not gonna really get into harping that, but I know that those values are very important to you all. And I know the values that of your other sororities are important as well. Can those core values be implemented together where it work and to one unity? Is it possible?
I would say absolutely.
Okay.
And I say that because I really think if you really broke probably every organization, civic, be it civic service, whatever, if you break it down, they're going to have some of the same core values.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I think that every individual, everyone joins an organization for various reasons.
That's
You know,
true.
just various reasons. But if it doesn't resonate with you
Mm-hmm.
deep down, and that's what I'm saying, the core deep down to you, then you can't fully commit yourself to it. So I think every one of them has some of the same core principles,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just how you navigate them and how you move about them. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably have a little bit more to say in a minute, but yeah, I mean that's what. Yeah.
Iris, you want to piggyback off of that?
I would say both organizations foster leadership, they foster community service, and striving for excellence. And
Yeah.
so the core values pretty much are the same. With nursing, it's a lot of healthcare initiatives in mentorship and leadership. And then for me, even being new in Delta Sigma Theta, their umbrella is a little wider. They cast a little bit of a wider net, but it is still about uplifting and developing and giving back to the communities. It's about making sure that the people have the resources and the tools they need to advance. And so, to me, the values run parallel, and that's amazing.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. I know that y'all was talking about y'all calendar, and I told you I think about something, I shoot it off the hip. I know that you have some dates in November for me. I'm trying to make sure.
Um,
That-
as a matter of fact, that entire dinner actually was, we went to dinner to discuss our calendar date with you.
okay,
Logistics.
okay.
You
Our
are logistics. You're on the
logistics.
calendar.
You're on the calendar. So
Okay.
we went to really discuss the logistics of that, which
Okay.
kind of propelled us into, well, now hold on, let's see what we have going on for the remainder, or well, don't forget about this and don't forget about that, and so but William, being able to work with Pi Omicron chapter of Omega Psi Phi fraternity has been really a blessing to me. I'm going to only speak for myself,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
because like Iris said earlier on, when we were just,
New.
some of the old folks say, just wet behind the ears.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we came into, not that we hadn't had that leadership or that community engagement prior to that. It was just the next level of that community engagement. The fraternity gave us that outlet to be able to partner. I remember even one of the first back to schools that
Yeah.
we participated in, and we threw up a tent over there in the out in the parking lot, and brought out some pamphlets and talked about nutrition and different things like that, and got a chance to but we had minimal funds,
Yeah.
but we had someone else that had funds that we could collaborate with
Mm-hmm.
and be more effective in the community.
Yeah.
And so and you guys have, I mean, when I say really a blessing. I mean,
Absolutely.
even when you guys had other things on your schedules out of town,
Uh-oh.
Your voice. Yeah.
Yeah, your voice.
I still always um, sent a representative.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been for anything, or you know, you just don't know how much it meant to. I think one event we had, it was something. Everyone else would have said, okay, well that's nothing, but hey, can we just pay for the cake
Yeah.
for that event, or or whatever. Those little acts of kindness went a long way
Okay.
when you think about the scope of things and how we started and where we are now.
Right.
Even I was out at the prostate race a couple of Saturdays ago. I didn't participate in the race. I was up with Jay Hartman at the registration table. That's where they needed me. I was
Yeah.
able to just fit in and do whatever. And
Yeah.
so those are the type of commitments I make.
Yeah.
I make meaningful commitments when people have been good to me
Yeah.
and our organization, then I return that favor,
Yeah.
and we can do that and continue on with the partnership.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I will say it has been a blessing for all of us. I know especially for me, but since I've been the chairperson of Achievement Week and to bring in that health initiative. But I want to say, last year when you all did that health initiative at the frat house, oh my God, I just that health initiative there was an impact that I was like, wow, we have really set the bar of a
Mm-hmm.
health initiative during Achievement Week that to the point to where we are really encouraging all our members to be a part of it this year and really, really take part of it because the information that you all gave us, I didn't think that some of our my fraternity brothers would be going through those same medical issues today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna say,
Yeah,
hold on to your bootstraps,
yeah.
because we're going to the next level.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Right,
To the
right.
next level.
When we left that event, I told Betty, I sure hope they, are considerate enough to let us do it next year, because they're not going to be ready for what we have in store. And
Oh
so,
my
as
God.
fate would have it, I mean, that we love doing that. We love giving back to the community. We love helping people. And I think we probably have worked with most of D9 in Little Rock.
Yeah.
We just now got a part to be in the family of D9, but we have collaborated either by supporting fundraisers, making donations, or attending events, because truly we are all in this together. And come November, it's one big family.
Yeah, because I mean,
So,
I look at the fact is that what you all about to do in November, you covering two sororities, and both of them are getting recognition for both of them for
mhm,
everything,
mhm,
and that's why I said they couldn't have put a better two picked and selected a better two people to be a part of
Oh,
that sorority
oh.
because of what they get in you all. So as soon as I heard through the grapevine that you all was a part. I said, let me go on and give my sister some stuff ready for him when I get there. So I came with gifts. So
yes.
I had to show that love for you all, and so the growth,
Mhm,
the growth in both sororities. Oh
mhm,
man, what we dealing with now in today's society, we're
mhm,
going to have to take that growth to another level. We're going to
Yeah.
have to take that. We all have to.
mhm,
Omega Psi Phi as well as all the D9 that's a
mhm.
part going to have to take that growth to another level. Uh, can you give me one example of what you would like to see different in the nurse sorority, and as well as what you could bring to Delta Sigma Theta to make that growth come up?
I'll start, and I think when we're talking about growth, I think personal growth,
Personal growth,
that
yeah.
On the leadership level, William, I honestly believe you get out what you put in.
Mm-hmm.
And every organization is going to need you for something different.
Mm-hmm.
I came into Chi Eta Phi with leadership.
Yeah.
However, some of the experiences grew me as a person.
Okay.
And it just kind of it built on what I already had, and just kind of I would say just kind of prepared me for. It could have been. It may have prepared me for my role in the community that I work in. I'm in volunteers in public school, and I don't have any children in the school district yet. I'm on their board of directors,
Okay.
and I volunteer on a monthly basis in the schools. So I think everyone's leadership in an organization. Well, I consider myself a baby in Delta Sigma Theta. So I'm sitting back, and I'm gonna let, for lack of better words, I'm gonna just let God use me.
Right.
Because I really feel like you can lead from any seat in the room.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be at the top of this, it doesn't have to be the top seat.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I've practiced in any leadership role I've had. I value every seat in the room, because everyone you can grow from anyone's expertise in the room, where someone else may be totally stronger in another suit
Right.
from me.
Yeah.
And I can learn from that, and I can grow from that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Iris, you got anything you want to add to that?
Well, I would say working in the community from, oh gosh, being young, Girl Scouts. I've
Yeah.
always worked in the community. I've raised my girls working with me in the community. But when I joined Chi as a charter member, I never thought that I would have the opportunity to serve as a president for more than 4 years. And so when you take on that role, the expectation is that you're able to lead and you're able to follow. You cannot be an effective leader and not know your members and then be able to follow.
Yeah.
And so the mentorship that we learned, the skills that I was provided with, the encouragement, the structure, that leaves you, it goes beyond Chi. So then in your work, in the community, you're able to plan more and do more. And I think that kind of groomed me and got me ready for 2024. And I think that was just an amazing opportunity. I will never forget it. And
Yeah.
so as I go over into Delta, I'm just like Bettye, waiting to see what's needed and ready to work when the call comes.
Right, right, right. And I commend you both for that, because that's a good response on that question. One of the things that I had to learn as a coming in with nonprofit skills of organizational skills, then coming over to Palmer Cone, where there was a lot of leadership in there, and being able to sit down and learn from those leaders was a tremendous task for me. But I was eager to learn from it. But I walked in with the frame of mind is that I'm going in here to work and to give my service.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of what I did in the past with that organization, this is a new organization for me.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to show that I earned to be here. And so I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
give you my work, and I'm going to give you my service. And since I crossed in 2018, I've been the chairperson of Palmer Chrome Achievement Week. They gave me that, and I wasn't taught how to put this thing together. It was like
Try by fire.
oh yeah,
Right.
I wasn't taught how to put it together. I had to put it together, and I had to learn what worked, what didn't work, and make it work for everybody to understand it and appreciate it and accept it and encourage me to continue to do more. And I since I've been doing this, I have left Little Rock in 2021. I have still been running my position from Omaha, Nebraska to San Antonio, Texas, and now McKinney, Texas. I'm still doing the work
Yeah.
of Omega Psi Phi and in Arkansas, and I'm doing it from other states. So, what is the excuse of your service?
It
There's no
is.
excuse.
There's no excuse.
There's no excuse for your service.
Yeah.
So, I lead by example. I work just as hard out of state than I do if I was actually there personally. So, I'm still giving my all to what I believed in and my commitment because that's what I was committed to. They gave me an opportunity, so that's what I do. And I know that Delta Sigma Theta is going to get the work out of y'all.
Betty, the Delta
The
Sigma.
Delta
the
Sigma
Delta,
Theta.
okay. Yeah, the Delta Sigma Theta. They're going to get the work out of y'all because I already know. Y'all are workhorse. I've seen y'all work. I've actually seen it. So, and been a part of it. So I'm very, very, very appreciative of that, and I want to thank you all for taking the time out to come on my show. But even though I wanted to showcase, sometimes we can be in these sororities and fraternities, and people say, "Okay, it's just people wearing T-shirts." No, there are people really doing some work.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really people doing some work. And I said, I know when I asked you two to come on this show, I know I'm going to get the best from you because I know your work that you've been doing in both sororities. I know what the work you're going to do in these Delta Sigma Theta. And I know what they're getting ready to get out of you all. So I commend them for selecting you all again. They didn't go wrong with you two. I can tell you that.
Look, that was one of the things that drew me.
Yeah.
Watching them work. Oh my God.
Yeah.
They are not afraid to roll.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Little Rock Alumnae is busy. I mean, to see them working nonstop, it's, you're getting the best of both worlds. I truly believe we have the best of both worlds.
I believe you do too.
It's definitely an amazing, like Iris said, just to see it in action. To be on the outside and participating either by like Iris said, by fundraising or attending events and things like that, or just collaboration, and then actually being on the inside and seeing how it just unfolds into a major production of things. It's really nice. It's really nice, and I'm excited about what's going to happen over the next few years, and
ever.
Just by and I'm going to. This is my last question, but just by curiosity, how many people in the Delta Sigma Theta has came up to you all and asked you, how do y'all do what you do for as the nursing part? And how have they asked you all any questions about what y'all do?
Well, I think they're always. I've had a few, but I think more of them have just kind of seen the juggle of things, and it actually, after it unfolded, kind of how things happen over the month of us, hosting the regional conference. It was just kind of seeing how. Then we really got people coming up and saying, how'd y'all do all that?
Right.
And we can even say now, it was God and God all by himself.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
About 2 hours of sleep a night. A lot of prayer.
A lot of prayer
and a lot of planning.
And a lot of planning. And then it goes back to the commitment. I think some people say, well, I don't have time. You have time to do whatever it is that you want to do. You have to make time for what's important to you. And so so we're looking forward to ever.
Wow. And one of the things, the reason why I asked that, because I'm getting ready to share something that I never shared before. And I
Okay.
always, when I do a show, I tell a little something about my experiences that a lot of people don't understand or haven't heard personally. But when I was actually going through in 2018, I was working on my master's degree.
Mhm.
Number one, um, I was assigned to the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force. A lot of people didn't know that. Some people did. So I traveled a lot,
Mhm.
and I worked some serious cases in Little Rock, and as well as the state of Arkansas. Period. So I had a tough one that I was actually working on during the process of when I was going through.
Oh
Um,
wow.
I also had one of the people didn't. A lot of people didn't realize that I was one of the leading person that had the Clinton detail when he would come in town
Mm.
for years. So I
Mm.
had that responsibility as well. And at the same time, I had a relative in South Arkansas who was like my brother. We was raised up together, who had a stroke,
Mm.
and he was going through that process. He had just lost his wife about a year ago, and so when he had the stroke, I was going through the process, and I was actually visiting him, trying to wait till his son come in from Portland. Let's see, yeah, Portland, Oregon at the time, and fly in to take over. And so I was going up there every night, staying with him,
Mm.
Mm,
still going through my process.
mhm,
So it's some hard work, okay? And let me tell you something. When you going through all that, I thought about you all. I really
Mhm.
did. I started praying for you. Because when you start going through all that and you're trying to remember everything, I know the brain sometimes, your
Mhm.
thought process, it goes.
Mhm.
You blank
Mhm.
out. You can know something all day long. You know it like the back of your hand. And you looking at you like, "Ah," and it can't come out your mouth.
Mhm.
You like, what is going on with me? And I went through that. I went through that.
Overload.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
Yeah.
went through that overload. I never told my LBs, and I'm finna say something to them tonight because I'm finna give them some. I never told my LBs what I was doing. When I had a crash one night during the process, my LBs picked me up
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
held me
Mhm.
together, and they came to me and they said, "Look, whatever you going through, we got to go through it together."
Mm,
And
Absolutely.
from that point on, I told them everything that I was dealing with. They had no idea that I was going, seeing my cousin late at night, staying with him. And I'm gonna be honest with you, during that same process, he passed away.
mm,
So,
Oh.
yeah, he passed away, and so I had to deal with all of that at that time. So when I thought about you all, I was like, they going through. So God keep them and hold them, and make sure that their thought process is still there and continue on to do the work. And I just want to say to that I commend you for going through the process. Um, Again, the Delta Sigma Theta has one of the best two selected that I ever seen come through there so far. So that I have knowledge of working with in the community, and I know uh, they're gonna have a tremendous task to follow with you all too, with the work that you all do in there. So before I close it out, anybody want the last? Y'all can say the last words. You can take your time. What you want to say?
I did want to say one little thing before we hop off. Thank
Go ahead.
you for having us on the show.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
Anything we said, disclaimer, is our own personal thoughts, and we
that's
cannot speak on behalf of Chi Eta Phi or Delta Sigma Theta. We
No, no,
as,
this is for
as members.
yeah.
But I will say, thank you for sharing that with us. I mean, you're like a brother to us, and we love you and we thank you. What made for me the process doable was the love and support from Kai, because at some point during the conference, we had to share with our leaders, hey, listen, this is the situation.
Right,
They have to miss something. We didn't have to tell them what we were doing, but we may not be able to attend,
right.
parts. the love and support that we were shown and showered with, and some of our leaders in Chi are also in Delta.
Okay, that's good.
And so that made it the love and the support and what we were surrounded with. They knew the time we put into it, they knew the dedication. And then, over in Delta, no matter how tired I was
Yeah.
excited to get there every day.
Yes.
Betty and I packed lunch. We had lunch assigned on the calendar. We had picnic baskets because we had gone with no food and no drink, and they probably was wondering why they got a country meal. That's all we had the whole. Just like the love that I have for her is absolutely unexplainable. She works like I do. She love hard like I do. She's committed like I do. And if she tell me she's going to do something, you can take that to the bank. And
Oh
so
yeah.
rocking and rolling ever since. And so um the love and support from Kai let us slide graciously over, and Delta Sigma Theta has embraced us like none other. I just didn't think my heart could take any more, but now it can. We're in the honeymoon phase. But
Yeah.
Eva, how long you gonna be a member, Eva?
Ever.
Ever.
Eva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I too, William, thank you. It has definitely been fun. All my nerves shook away after that first laugh that you gave. You belted out. But it has truly been when I think I would say to myself, if I had to see sisterhood in the dictionary, I would see Iris and Betty next to it.
Yeah.
We like peas and carrots,
Yeah.
and no one would ever believe that we met each other in Chi. We didn't know each other from Adam.
Yeah. Wow.
And I was working on a task, and she walked up and said, "Do you need any help?" And I said, "Oh no, I'm just finishing up, stapling these pages together." She said, "Well, then if both of us do it, we'll finish twice as, you know."
Wow.
And that was the beginning of what we have now.
Yeah.
And we travel together. Our families are intertwined now, and so it's more than when you start thinking of organizations.
Mm-hmm.
If you get to the core of it, it's more than the organization.
Right.
When you
Right.
think about what you get out of the commitments, the same commitments that you've made in succession. We did it in 2016 and then again in 2024. So
Right.
that's my double line sister there.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
I'm talking about. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Hey, well said. Well done. I want to say thank you all for coming on my show to join me at 954 Miles of Conversation. And as always, we explore boundless conversations 1 mile at a time. Until next time, see you all again.
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah.